What is up, everybody? This is Keith Anderson. Hope I gave you guys 231 across Keith Street. It is Monday night, and we got Tuesday Champions League action. Thank goodness it's back. Makes the midweek so much more fun. And this is gonna be a fun one. You know, this is the slate that we generally have Bayern. That's like a minus a million favorite, and Lewandowski is going to score 4 goals, and who's going to get the assists, and who else is going to score? What Bayern do you need to make it happen? And they're not on the slate; they're on the early slate, so we get a little bit of stress on that. But this one, I think one of our subscribers said it really well before I got on. This reminds us of an EPL slate. No huge favorite, you know, lowish totals. You can play floors, my type of slate. So let's just jump right into it. Quick reminder, like, subscribe, comment, all really helps. And let's just get on it. Now, one big thing as I'm pulling up, and hopefully I will remember to do it each time. Sometimes I forget. But with the standings and where teams are at in the table is a big thing. And keep in mind, 4th, they go home. 3rd place, they go on to the Europa League, which for smaller teams, or really anybody but like the Goliath teams, is still not bad. They still get money. They have a chance at a trophy. And then first 2, you want to make sure that you're in those positions, keep going on, keep racking in the Champions League dollars. So just bear that in mind as we go, because that could change, what teams are playing for, how much they want to push, all that good stuff. Barcelona hosting Benfica in the Xavi era, minus 161. Let's just take a look at that total. It should not be over 3. And it is not. It's right in between, like 2.75. Barcelona, everybody in the world is injured. If you look in the standings, Bayern's running away with it. This is a huge game. Barcelona needs 3. Barcelona gets 3. They're guaranteed advancement at the Camp Nou. So this is a massive game for them. Memphis cover of this video, he should be 150% owned. If he's not, that is a discount on ownership, and you should thank your opponents. Memphis first guy in, doesn't matter the price. I'm not even going to Draftkings, doesn't matter. If Dembele starts, I guess he's interesting. He ain't going to play 90. Gavi in the front 3, that's just it's a trap. Your plays here from like a cash and optimal perspective, which reminder, if this is the first time watching, that is what we look at. Your plays are Memphis, Jordi Alba. Whoever the right back is, Sergio Roberto is always just a trap. I don't know if it's him, or if it's Desk, or if it's Mzwenga. I don't know say his name. Oh, look, he's doubtful. Everybody in the world's doubtful. Watch the Barcelona lineup. But Jordi Alba, Memphis Depay are the ones with floors. Dembele will have a floor for as long as he's in, or as long as he doesn't get hurt. And that's it from Barcelona. So despite them being such a big favorite, they're not like super attractive just because everything goes through Memphis. Could you play Ter Stegen with Barcelona looking a little better on Xavi? We don't have a huge sample, but sure. That's about it. From the Benfica side, they're always like a set nightmare. João Mario takes sets, Grimaldo takes sets, Lazaro can take sets. If you ever see Pizzi in here, which I don't even know if he's barely on the team anymore, he can take sets. Issue with any Benfica pieces, they're all GPP only. Barcelona just loves dominating possession, especially under Xavi. They're just going to pass the ball around to death, good old Barcelona style, and it kills the DFS goodness on the other side. You're really drawing to goal or assist. So skip Benfica and move on to the next game. Chelsea versus Juventus. This is where one of the games that's going to come into play, what they're playing for. Juventus is actually ahead, and they have a nice goal differential too. So if they get like a 0-0 here, that's just a massive, because I believe, I don't remember who their next game is, but then they can take care of business in the next game. Rest up this one. This is not a game that they should be going to Stamford Bridge thinking they could get 3 points. On the other hand, Chelsea should definitely be thinking about getting 3 points, especially if you don't see Dybala. Juventus, far from their like normal best. So you got a lot of things flowing here. Let's just start with the Juventus side. Nothing. Much like Barcelona, Chelsea wants to control the ball, just take the air out of it, kills their opponents' open play and floor ability, where you're just looking at goals and assists. Chiesa, Cuadrado, Morata, those would be the guys I'd be looking at. Chiesa and Cuadrado probably would split if you don't see Dybala. If Dybala's in, he takes some sets too. Kulabeshki could take some, but I'm not on anybody in Juventus here from a cash and optimal standpoint. On the Chelsea side, I am on the wingbacks, Ben Chilwell and Reece James. Should be some sort of split. We saw with Reece James, I think they got like 1 or 2 corners with this type of lineup. Mason Mount, I would say at this point, we kind of have to presume he's not on sets, which just means that he's probably going to take Monopoly. That seems to be the whole Thomas Tuchel Chelsea set thing. The moment you think Chelsea sets, it's the opposite. So it's Ben Chilwell pretty consistently when he's on. Reece James pretty consistently on, whether he's in the, as a wing back or a back three, he's been taking. So all that just means Mason Mount goes and does it. But Reece James, Ben Chilwell, I like them both. You can play them both. I think they're a little bit pricey to play them both there. So it's weird. I like Reece James open play better than Ben Chilwell, but Ben Chilwell is the one that you guaranteed sets on. So go figure. I'd say just lean on, if you have a lean either way, just go for it. I don't know. I think in my holder I had Reece James, but if I had the salary, I'd probably go up to Chilwell. I don't know. It's a results play, in the FSI chat, members can tell you, sometimes people say this guy or this guy, and it's like the result, like you're right on the process, right? Playing a Chelsea wing back with sets, that makes a ton of sense. Now, who's going to do more? I don't know. Like, ask me when the game's over. If that's not a process question, that's a results answer. So keep that in mind. Pulisic, Mount, Kai, all GPP. Does Jorginho have PKs at this point? I have no clue. Based on international break, I wouldn't think so. But Tuchel, I could totally be the guy who's Jorginho's my PK taker. He goes in. I don't remember where he's priced at. Let's just hope he's like priced where only crazy people would play him. Only crazy people would play Jorginho at 6,300. So if you're a crazy person, take my head-to-heads. Otherwise, next game. God, I never thought I'd be at the point that Momo and Zenit has like all the intrigue. Excuse me. Look, even my throat is like, all right, get primed, Keith. We're about to talk about some excitement here with Momo and Zenit. Zenit slight favorite on the road, -110. This should be not a terribly high total. Yeah, 2.75 again. And then really, really important in the table in terms of like Zenit, them going to Europa is a big deal. Like Zenit likes to spend money, so they need some extra money. A point here, they're guaranteed to go to Europa League. So, a draw is good. A loss is pretty catastrophic because that means they're going to be playing Juventus or Chelsea, both who will have something to play for in the final game. I don't have the next one up. And I'm also kind of going to have to scramble here a little bit. I thought that Christensen was in. He's showing doubtful here. So set pieces for Momo, I'm almost positive is Martin Olsen. Let's just do a quick check on the last game. Yeah, there you go. The little shade of gold with Martin Olsen. He had a game, I remember preparing for the last Champions League slate, where he was something like, I had like 17 or 18 crosses. And, because I didn't build around him, what's his price? Oh, baby, 2,900. What a gimme. So if you see no Christensen, but you see Martin Olsen in, freaking lock and load, and the slate is just wide open for you from there. So Martin Olsen, love that play. Anybody else on Malmo, I think, is more GPP. I know Sergio Pena is a guy that used to be in the Dutch league. He's a good player. Let's see if he has had sets. Those are Peru games. Yeah, he can take some sets too. So I remember him from that. So Sergio Pena is definitely the other play from Malmo. Let's see. 4,000. So that's really nice too. So, my Christensen 4,300 could become Sergio Pena too, but definitely want Martin Olsen at 2,900. Remember him back from Swansea days, always being a pretty relevant DFS player. Anybody else here? GPP only. I remember a couple of our guys being on Brasimovic from, I think that play-in tournament. He had one or two big games. So, if you want to do like a Malmo GPP stack or something, that's the type of thing that can win you GPP because nobody else is going to do it. Let's see if the Nasi guy, he's playing the 10 as number 37. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. I'm going to guess it's not. So, but if you do see Christensen, and he's their best player. So just keep that in mind. All right, Zenit, that's where I really want to go to. All right, so it's just like some craziness here, okay? So Douglas Santos, before he got hurt, would be on at least half, sometimes even monopoly of set pieces as a wingback. Was always a really nice player. He's going to cost you 5,700, which is too much because of what I'm about to tell you. He was back on the weekend for his first game back since injury. And the GOAT, if you remember from years back for, dear God, why do I always blank? It's not Spartak Moscow. Oh, no, it's not Kiev. I'm blanking on the Ukrainian team he played for. But Yaroslav Rapitsky used to be like, remember once it was like a $2,500 center back, shows up with like 12 crosses. Everybody freaks out. We're all on him on the next tape for like 2,800, and then all of a sudden he gets crazy in price. He still takes set pieces. He's one of my favorite So Rare players. If you haven't joined So Rare, DM me, give me my code. We both get some free stuff. But So Rare is fantastic. Another fantasy football sweat, expensive but fun. So he plays center back, takes sets. He took a Monopoly before he subbed out. Malcolm will jump on some too. Yes, that Malcolm, the guy that burned out at Barcelona. But if you remember back to Ligue 1 days, Malcolm's a stud. It's been a stud in Russia since going there too. So Rakiski is the most likely set taker. He's like 4,800. I think because of the risk, you can't play it. Okay. But then it could be Santos, and you could have Malcolm too. I think of the three, Malcolm is actually my favorite play. He's only like 7,300. All right, computer, load up. 7,300. It's kind of fun. Arden Zumba. It's like 6'5", old man. Great header of the ball. He had 3 goals on the weekend. Again, why do I know this? So rare. But and I think an assist. 2 goals and assists. I don't know. He scored like a perfect score. He's only 4,900. So if you think that they are going to take this game, that could be really good. Claudinho takes a random set. Good player as well. Wendell, good player too. They don't have nearly as much like DFS goodness as the rest. So Jumba, I think, is very cash payable because of the price of 4,900. Rakiski, if you feel confident that he's on corners, go for it. It's definitely a good matchup. Santos, I love the player, always scores well. But if he's not on sets at 5,700, defenders is pretty loaded. Like, you have to ask yourself, if you wanted 5,700, wouldn't you rather just find 400 more for Jordi Alba? Yes, you would rather find 400 and play Jordi Alba. That's my answer to you. Or find 1,000 more and play Reece James, because we're going to be using Martin Olsen, right? We love Martin Olsen. I'm going to get to Marcus Acuna, who can be a tilt, but Marcus Acuna it's in a really good spot here too. Or let's say that we wanted Chilwell here. Now all of a sudden that utility spot, because remember, this is not like normal champions. We don't have crazy favorites. We're looking at floors. So defenders are our friends. They're always underpriced for their role and for their floor. So now all of a sudden we go, man, wouldn't I like to have Reece James or Jordi Alba or Marcus Acuna? Yes, I would like all those 3. No, I don't want to take the risk of Douglas Santos, despite these beautiful logs here. That's my take on it. Let's go to Young Boys versus Atlanta. Not a ton here. This could be an interesting game. I think Atalanta is one of my favorite GPP stacks because I think that it might go overlooked with everybody just kind of getting the players that they know better. We do have the only game that is over a 3 total. It's hovering in that 3.25 range. And if we look at the standings as well, maybe Atalanta needs 3. Young Boys could actually take 3 too, because then you obviously have Villarreal and Man United draw, and freaking this group is just wide open. Everybody's in play for a Champions League spot, and everybody's in play for a Europa League spot. So it is interesting for Young Boys. Abisher is on sets, normally a Monopoly. Sometimes you'll see Garcia take some too. He's a very, very attacking fullback. Sibachu, no longer going to be starting striker for US, but he shows up with some games. Elia is a nice player, and then I'm not going to try to say number 13's name, but he's been all right as well. Sometimes you'll see, is he out? Vashnek is a good player too. I don't know much about Martins Pereira. Hefty, I covered them on the Atalanta side. So if you see their sets are kind of a mess. If you see Toon Koopmeyers in, which I don't, he's been starting, but he's been on sets even over Malinowski. And if you see Malinowski, since he splits with Zappacosta, and then if Ilicic is in, he's there too. So I think for Atalanta, you don't play the guys for their set role, you play them for their upside. So Zapata, I think, is an awesome GPP play. Everybody will be on Depay. So, spending 9,200 for Zapata, I don't think is going to be too popular. So I like that quite a bit. Pairing him with anybody. Pasalic just scored 2 goals on the weekend. Nice player. Malinowski, we've known for a while, very, very DFS friendly player. The wingbacks get forward. So just a lot of good stuff in Atlanta. I think that's a really good low-owned stack. Lille versus Red Bull. This game could get open as well. I think from the Lille side, we'll have to watch who's in. But if in, Žeka and Gazici will split sets. This game should be a little bit under 3. Yeah, this is right in that 3 total, 3.5, 3.25. And then for standings, you actually have them at the top. This group is wide open too. Sevilla, would expected to win this group. has a little ground to make up. So this is a big game. Lille can be good defensively, but we saw on the weekend they allowed 2 early goals as well, so they can get leaky. But I think my favorite play is Jonathan David, stud Canadian forward for them. If you get a goal notification, you probably think it's him or Yilmaz. Yazici at 6,000 is interesting. Weah's like 5,200, interesting as well. This will be a low in the stack too, and Red Bull can definitely get open. I would rather just go for their goal scorers than their set pieces. For Red Bull, their sets are Seawald and Sucic. I think that they're much like Lille too, that you probably want to play them for their upside more than their sets, just because it is a split. So Ademi, Sucic, Aronson. I don't know anything about Adamu. If he's on Red Bull Salzburg and is a young player, probably means he has upside. Typically how it goes with them. Yeah, Okafor being doubtful stinks. Their fullbacks are okay. Nothing to write home about. Again, fullbacks tomorrow are like so valuable. So don't burn it on somebody you don't feel too confident about. But Ademi is the best player being linked to some huge clubs. So if you want a goal, that's a good place to look. Final game, Sevilla versus Wolfsburg. I love Marcus Acuna. He had a game 2 games ago that he had like 13 or 15 crosses, something crazy like that. The hardest part with Sevilla always is that they just sub so much. You're minus 143 here though. You're gonna have a low total here, under 2.5. So you're not going for goals here. I wouldn't burn Munir, Rafa, or Ocampos because you're worried that they're gonna sub too. And then let's just see where they're in the group. I kind of mentioned that Sevilla definitely needs a win here. Acuna, definitely my favorite play by far. Is Navas out? Yeah, Navas is out. Montiel is okay. Argentinian fullback, but not really known for his offense. Acuna is definitely going to be firing forward. Rakitic sometimes takes some set pieces and also has PKs. Makes him interesting too. For Wolfsburg, I probably just going to lean away from them outside of just like a YOLO GPP dart. Should be Arnold over most sets. Baku can take some if this was the lineup. Nemcheka is a really good player. Woutwegger is always a goal scorer, but I think Sevilla has a lot to play for here. Sevilla is a pretty good defensive team at times as well, so I just would probably lean away from Wolfsburg. All right, that'll do it. I think I gave you a lot there. So fullbacks are incredibly important. Watch that Malmo lineup. Did you ever think I'd say that? Watch that Malmo lineup. Martin Olsen would be like the free square of the slate, if in. Yeah, good luck from there. So if you want more content, click the link in below. Join FSI, soccer subscription. There's a couple different options up there, but we cover everything. It's a great value, great community. Would love to see anybody in there from here. And with that, I'll do it. Guys, good luck tomorrow. With that, I'll say, see you.